Okay. So what is a Microsoft server will do? Microsoft Windows server. What are the server like server 2012 or 80, 16 or a 19 server? So on premises server it is. Okay. So you can say like what is on premises means in your organization on premises. It means in your organization, within your LAN connection, within your intranet. Okay, so company keeps all IT infrastructure on site, which is either managed by themselves or a third party. So, so that is on premises. Okay, so this is called on premises. So I done a spelling mistake here. Okay, so what is on premises means? Okay, if on site infrastructure. So what server will do? Server will provide infrastructure services. Server provide share file and printer services like a print server, file server. Okay, hosted application services like Exchange server you can't install into Windows 10 or Windows 8. So we can install into Windows server only. Means server operating system only. SQL server, Dynamics server. Okay, Dynamics means like CRM, customer relationship management is that is dynamic CRM, that kind of server it is there. System center server, system center virtual machine manager, system center configuration manager, system center application, sorry, app control, system center data protection management, like the different system centers are there. So those applications we can install in a server only. Network access related server provide authentication and authorization. Okay, so that is we go into domain kind of stuff, right? So that is user authentication, authorization, access permissions. So that is network access. Resources to client on the network, authorization is okay. Active Directory, LDAP example. Application update and operating system deployment. Server often deployed locally to assist with the deployment of applications, updates, and operating system to the client on the organizational network. Again, I'm going. So, guys, these are 5 points. So, in a Microsoft Windows servers, there is a 5 points we have to can say server. So, what server will do? So, what server can able to do? So, these 5 things we can able to tell in a point wise, like infrastructure services, shared file and printers, hosted applications, network access, okay, application update and operating system deployment. What is infrastructure service? DNS and DSCP services, shared file and printer services like a print server and file server kind of stuff. Hosted application, different applications we can install in a server operating system and we can install it. Okay, server provide authentication and authorization um, resources to client to network means like I want to access a printer. Authenticate user first. User is proper user or not. Username and password authenticated. Verify of username and password called authentication. Verification of username and password is called authentication. Once you are verified, is the person is allowed to access or not? Like I have a folder. Is the person is able to access this one? Like a authorization. Authorization means give permission to access. Authentication means verification of user identity. Verification of identity. Okay, verification of identity like username, password kind of stuff. Authorization, allowed to access or not to allow to access. Authorized. Okay, access the data, access the file system, access the printer, access the application, like that is called authorization. So what are you want to access? The network access means it will authenticate user and authorize the user also. So example is Active Directory, LDAP, Kerberos, KER, BR, OS, Kerberos authentication protocol, LDAP authentication, Active Directory, store of username, passwords, other things. Okay, application, update, operating system, deployment. What is this application update and operating system? We can deploy a application to the client PCs. We can deploy a application to the client PCs. We can deploy a update to the client PCs. Means we can able to install a updates and application to client PCs. Operating system deployment, so whole operating system we can deploy into the client pieces. We can replace their operating system, or freshly we can able to install the operating system through network. So you need to go to the client pc, so simply from server we can deploy application update as well as operating systems also. So that's why it's a 5 points: infrastructure services, shared file and printer services, hosted applications, network access, update, application update, and operating system. Guys, server means it's huge theory, huge terminologies are there. Everything you want to learn the server, so you have to learn terms. We have to go to, no, no, not a terms. Okay, so terms. TERA. No, why I'm typing like this? My I slept very well at night. Okay, terminology. So whatever it is, terminology. Everything you should know what it is. If you know, once you know it, you don't forget it. Also, you will know. For example, tower. What is tower? What is rack? What is blade? What is KVM? What is DHCP? What is shared files? What is printer? What is exchange? So if you know the each and every word meaning, so obviously don't forget it and you will understand more. If you read it like a textbook, then you will forget. Yeah, guarantee. Don't read like a textbook things. Go through once, find out what it is. Then only you will understand. You can able to remember it. Okay. So this is the 5 points in a server. Okay, next one is work group and domain. What is a work group? What is a domain? So here it is already. I put a notes because we don't have a time. Then uh, um, so I put everything here. Okay, so we'll copy. Very good. So it's a theory in this one. So okay, work group and domain is, what is a work group? What is a domain? We'll see that one. So we have a Windows 10 PCs, right? I have a PC. You have a PC. Okay. Like if you take in a network, we have a multiple PCs in the single LAN connection. For example, I have a, for example, here I have a 4 PCs in the single LAN network. Guys, when I put a network symbolic representation like this, does not mean bus topology. It is a bus topology by looking like this. It represent network. It does not mean it will only work bus topology. I'm not explaining in a bus topology. It is represent network. That's it. Whatever the topology you use it, that's a different thing. It represents network. Okay. Mm. There is a symbolic representations are there for each and every thing. Okay. So this is a PCA. Okay. So this is a PCA, PCB, PCC and PCD. Okay, so PCA want to communicate PCB. So PCA, sorry. Everything is in work group. The member of work group it is shows like. So I'm going to control panel. Okay, system. It is updated to new one, right? So here I'm going to advance. No. Rename this PC advance. Then I'm going to see work group is work group. Work group is work group. And also you can go to change. You can see member of work group. Member of work group. Why it is darken? Why it is darken? Why? Because it's a home. Windows 10 home. So you cannot join a computer running this edition of Windows 10 to domain. Why? Because it's a Windows 10 home. You should have a Windows 10 professional or a enterprise. Professional or enterprise. Okay. So because it's a home, so we can't do this one. Okay. It's a work group. So that is work group. You see in that option. Okay. So are you in work group or not? We can see that. Okay. These are all in a work group. All are connected in the network. All are connected in the network, but all PCs are in work group. Of course, these PCs can communicate each other. These PCs can communicate each other. Okay, these PCs can communicate each other. They can share the folders. So then they can access the folders from one PC to another PC. Okay, they can share the folders. If you have a printer, for example, if you have a printer here, I have a printer here and the printer is connected, so these PCs also can access the printer, not at all a problem. Okay, this is no problem. So we can, every PC is in a generally, so every PC in a work group only, so we can communicate with each other, we can able to share the data, we can share the printers. Okay, like that we can able to do it, but to do that one we don't have any centralized control. We don't have any centralized control. Individual PCs act individually. For example, I want to share the data, I will share the data. If I want to access the data, I will access the data. And I have to ask like PCB having a shared folder, some data is there, PCA want to access. So person who is working on a PCA go to PCB and check the data sharing and check the IP address. Okay, and he has to access with the IP address and username of PCB, password of that username of PCB and password. So no centralized control. Individually we are accessing the data. No one is telling you, no one is controlling you. Okay, it is all PCs are independent. All PCs are independent. Okay, individual one. Second, for example, I have an account. For example, user 1 in a PCA, user 2, user 3, user 4. Guys, you have to understand very slowly. User 1 in a PCA, user 2 in PCB, user 3 in PCC, user 4 in a PCD. Every user has their own password, right? So they have their passwords. So too much noise from outside, not from you. Okay, from outside. 1 second, I will close all the doors. Still noise pollution. It's killing my little bit concept. This is already a bakwas topic, not one. So, guys, see it is user one in user PCA, user two, user three, user four are there. There are a password. Where this information stores, where this user information store, where it will store. Are you guys are there or already left or I'm disconnected?
We
It
are
is
left.
okay. So it stores in a PCA only. This information means this username, password store in this PC only. This username and password store in a this PC only. For example, this user want to log in here. Like I go to PCC and I type user 4 and a password. Can I log in? Understand?
No.
Yes,
No.
we can't log in. So why? Because this data not available here. PC user 4 and password information not available in C. Okay. So thing is we can't log in a different PCs. Why? Because of user 1 cannot log into PCB. Why? Because of this information not available in a PCC. So this is point number 1. Okay, in a war group. Next, sorry, it's a point number 2. Point number 1 is this user information stored in a their respective PCs only. So one PC user cannot log into other PCs because of other PCs don't have the user and password information. Okay. Next, this user's profile data also stores here only. Desktop information, profile data stores in their respective fields only. Okay. Next, these users, for example, PCA admin can administrate PCA only. PCB admin can administrate PCB only. Means the policies we can create settings. What is administration? So change of settings, required settings, policies. Okay, group policies. What we policies means uh, individual group policies. Every PC policy is applied to group policy applied to their PC only. That's why we call it as a local group policy. Okay, local group policy. That I create a local group policy that is applied here only. If I create a group policy here, it applied here only. Like that. Okay. So every PC their policies settings are their PCs only, individual only. So there is a no centralized control in a work group. So centrally, no one is controlling and these things. Okay. So point number 1 again. Every user in the PC, their information stores in that PC only. The user is can able to log into that PC only. He cannot log into different PCs. Point number 3, admin of the PC, administrator of a particular PC can able to administrate means control their settings, policies, system installations, uninstallations, everything can be done by their local administrator only. He cannot administrate others, and this PC cannot be administrated by others. It means I am an individual person, guys. Okay, I am an individual person. I am an administrator. I will administrate to my things, right? To my PC, right? I am an administrator. My PC, I am not administrating other PC. I can't administrate other PC, and my PC not administrated by others, other accounts. Okay, I am the account. I am the admin. I have my rules. I will do whatever you do in my PC, I will do it, not by rules of others. So that is the work group. What is a work group? Work group is a decentralized administration, no centralized control. Each individual PC is administered by the PC admin account only. PC's admin account only. No centralized administrator is not there. No centralized administrator is not there. So this is work group. Okay. So what is the, this is about work group. What is the negative things? Means what we are not getting in a work group. That is we have to see. Again I will draw because I draw a lot of things on this thing. Okay. So here again I'm putting a 4 5 pieces, depends upon the size. Yeah. The first one is already I told, decentralized administration. Work group, individual users are act individually, means the admin of the PC can administrate that PC only, he cannot administrate other PCs. So I'm putting in names PCA, PCB, PCC, PCD, PCE. So we are taking 5 PCs totally here. Now, for example, if you have a few other pieces, 4 pieces, 5 pieces, 10 pieces, in our Pune we have a 30 pieces in a lab. Okay, so 30 pieces are there, 25 to 30 pieces. Some are sometimes work, sometimes not working pieces also there. Okay, so uh, generally it's just for a normal one batch is not more than 20 members in generally, so except in a certain cases, that time we will put a more pieces. Okay, so whatever it is, if you have a more pieces like 50 pieces, 100 pieces, 200 pieces, I have a laptop and I can handle my laptop, no problem, right? I have a desktop, I can handle my desktop. I have a 10 pieces, for example, I can able to handle all the 10 pieces myself. But in organizations we have a number of pieces are high, number of number of computers are high, high in number, like a 20 pieces, 30 pieces, 40 pieces, number of pieces are high. So what I will do, it is very difficult to administrate individually, right? The user is not administrator, right? User is not administrator. User may not know how to install application, how to update a PC, or how to control the updates, or maybe authentication user. For example, user is sitting on one place and is shifting to another place, so it's very difficult to control that users, right? So if more number of PCs are there, it is very difficult to administrate each and everything, like network related things, application installation, or a control of application related things. Okay, device settings related things. So it is very difficult to administrate. Like admin means the person called admin, not a account called admin. Okay, the admin, like a system admin, has to go to each and every PC to do all the settings and all. For example, if you remember at the start of the class, my initial class, I have a car in a background, right? It is there now because of after this update, it is gone. I think because of I shifted the picture from the location, I think, but actually I didn't remember where I put the picture. It is okay, no problem. Okay, like their desktop settings, network settings, application installation, or application access control. It is very difficult to go to each and every PC and do the settings by a person called administrator. A person, not account. I am telling. Okay, so he has to log into the PCA admin account, and then he has to do settings, and he has to create a account for a other user like user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4, user 5. Okay, he created accounts, and each account he created a rules, policies, like this account has to access these things. The user cannot access these things, like he has to define 4 5 pieces. Okay, but think 50 bases, think 100 bases, 200 bases, 500 bases. The number of bases increases, the admin button will increases to control each individual PC individually. Each individual PC individually controlling is very difficult. Now, what I do, I create a centralized PC. I create a centralized PC. Now, one more point I miss. In our group, so this user is sitting today and he log in. This user log in here, user 3, user 4, user 5. Sometimes, about like a freshers, mainly boys. Okay. So what we do, we sitting in one place and someone is joined or some friend is came. So girls means like their friend came, college mate came, immediately they will shift it to this one. For example, U5 is a college mate or a classmate or a friend of U1. He shifted to here immediately. Or maybe U2 is wanted to shift to U5. Okay. So immediately we can't always shift the system, right? We can't able to shift the system. So U1 today he log in here, but tomorrow you want to log in here. It is very difficult because this content user for account here, and U1 want to log in here again. I have to create U1 login and then give transfer all the data. It is very difficult and very headache process. Otherwise, you have to shift the cabinet only. Okay. Hmm. So U1 cannot log into any other PCs directly with their account and with the profile data. He can't log in, right? So this is another one. For example, a PC has multiple users. For example, U6, U7, U8, U9, U10. So your accounts are created in like this. I have a 10 members, shift wise working. One is day shift, another one is night shift. Actually, I took example of three shifts example. So 100 PCs, 300 users. Normally in organization we have a three shift wise. 100 users, sorry, 100 PCs, 300 users means each PC 3 users minimum, right? So I'll took only two for this example. For example, CPC is down, the physical CPC is down. What happened, this user no login, account is not there, so he cannot log into any other PC, and this user cannot log into any other PC for working purpose. For example, same day, uh, this user is absent, user 3 don't have a PC, user 2 absent, so can able to access, right? So understand. So what happened, user 3 is a morning shift but system is down, and user 2 is a absent, so can I log in user 3 here? We can't log in. That's the problem. Understand issues, then you will understand what is the use of explanation of this one. Okay, so we'll keep it aside. Now what I do, I don't create an accounts in this one. What I will do, so i'll I'll I put a one centralized PC, and in that centralized PC I'll create all accounts like U1, U2, U3, U4, U5, U6, U7, U8, U9, we have a space V10. Okay, so for example 10 users I created in centrally. Okay, and also I store join the data like PCA, PCB, PCC, PCD in the system. So I put a these species data in my central only. So how we can put it? By joining into that domain. So when we have to join into the domain, then only we'll get the data in that one. Okay, so I know the three four pieces PCA. Now I join my PC like a PCA into domain, PCB, PCC, PCD in the domain. So then in the domain database, in the database I have a PCA, PCB, PCC, PCD information. Okay, in my database I have a PCA information, PCB information, PCC information, D information also. E information is not there. Okay, A, B, C, D only. Next, I created an accounts in the domain database. In the database I created a 10 accounts. User 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 10. 1 to 10 I created. Okay, this is it. Okay, now this central PC will do authentication. Earlier you this PCs are giving authentication, username and password stores here and authenticated here. But now username is stored here, the user's password also authenticated here only in centrally. Remember guys, username, their passwords store in a central PC, the central PC, and authentication also done by central PC only, central PC only. Understand? This is user 1 want to log into A1. Okay, in A1 user 1 want to log in. So this request is go to the server. Will take different color. So because black color become bored now. User 1 request to go to server. This is a user 1 and this is my password. Verify, authenticate it. So okay. So the server authenticate user 1 and it authenticate user 1. Okay, verified with the password. User 1 is authenticated. Next, again user 1 applied another request. Give me a access to PCA. Give me a access to PCA. That is called authorization. Authentication means verifying account. Authorization, yellow access. So give me access to PCA. Then it will verify. Okay, is it allowable? Okay, then access it. So that will happen here. So users information and group, sorry, user information and system means the client information, the PC information also stores in database only. So it will authorize, it will authenticate and authorize users for authentication and authorization purpose, accessing purposes. First one. Second, so I will go to another example like you two want to access B, then U2 password in a BPC. Request is going to server. Server will verify U2 username and their password. And once authenticated, the user become authenticated user and accessing to B user. So authorize it to access BPC. For example, U6 want to access CPC. Again, send a request to here and U6 username password will authenticated, verified it means authenticated and accessing to CPC. So yellow access to CPC. It means we can able to access. Next, for example, here is a U5 is login. Again same thing. U5 send a request to 8 and verify user 5. here, and then authenticated and authorized. Now U8 is want to access like this. I type a U8. What will happen? Nothing will happen. Why? Because of E information not available here. Understand? I have a information of A, B, C, D. E in the is not there. E information is not there in the central server. So you cannot log in with our domain users. You can log in with its local user, but you cannot log in with the domain user. Okay. So we can't log in with these users here. So if EPC has some account like student 1, student 2, user 4, user 5, it's a one local account is there, he can log in, but he cannot log in with these accounts. I can't verify because it's this EPC is not there in my domain. Who are there in my domain? A, B, C, D only. E is not in my domain, so I cannot able to verify E's account login to E drive. Sorry, EPC. ABCD drives are there also there. Mind is mixing. Okay. So this is authentication wise. Second, I will remove as I can able to remove. Next, for example, I want to deploy an application. I want to deploy an application to all the users. So I have to go to each and every PC. I have to install application. So it is very difficult. So in the server, I will create a group policy. Remember, I create a group policy. In the group policy, I will tell deploy this particular application, some application, whatever it is, deploy this application. So what I do, I deploying application from the server only. I'm deploying application to all the computers from server only. Through network, I can able to deploy an application. For example, there is a shared folder is there. Shared folder is there. Why can't send this one? So this is not accessible. So can I deploy to this one? I can't do it because it's not in my domain. This is not in my domain. Okay. Next, I have a shared folder, and I inform this. I have a shared folder to server. So just contact server for accessing this shared folder. Automatically you will get access the shared folder from here. So you don't need to search for individual PCs where it is located, no problem. Ask a server where is my shoulder. Okay, like there is different services also helpful for that one. Okay, so wherever you share the folder is there, you can access from the server directly. So this is one option. So many things happen. Okay, right, like this. Next, for example, I have a printer. Again, I have a printer is connected to server or a client or whatever it is, wherever it is connected. So mainly like a print server it is connected. I have a network printer or a print server connection. Okay, so with a print server or something, I have a printer. Now I put this printer information. I put this information to like a printer one in the domain database. In this database, I mentioned printer is there. So this printer can send to others also. Like so, in a using group policies, this is the printer information. Send printer information to all the users in the domain, so they can able to access the printer. Like that, we can control everything. I'm controlling user authentication, application deployment, okay, application deployment, printer sharing, shared folder information, okay, like that. So profile data sharing, shared folders, or roaming profiles, like we can able to control it. Okay, so this is what we call it as a domain. What is a domain? Here exactly same. Okay, So what is a domain? Exactly say it is a administrative boundary of users and computers, groups and resources. Users, this is users. Computers, these are all computers, right? All computers. Groups, if in case if you create a groups, okay, like a group 1, group 2, group 3, if you create groups. And resources means printers, scanners, storage. These are all comes under this one. Services, what kind of services you are giving? Group policy services, deployment services, or maybe um, storage services. Okay, like that comes in. It is an administrative boundary. It is a logical boundary. It is a logical. See, this is a physical network, right? Physical network, physical pieces are there, but I created a boundary in logical way only. Means A, B, C, D should be in a my database, so then they are in my domain. E is not in my domain, so it is out of my domain. Okay, E is not in my domain, it is out of my domain. Even though they are connected in a same network, they are connected in a same physical network, same logical network, but still, if I don't add a computer to my domain, it is not in my domain. That's it, very simple. If I not add in a domain, it is a domain. Okay, when I learn this server kind of stuff, the sir told one example is like a membership. Yes, like a membership. For example, Congress party is there. So if you join into the Congress party, you are a member of Congress party. If you join into Shiv Sena member. If you are a not join, you are not a member, right? You are not a member, but you are a person. You are living in the same place, but you are not a member of that group. Okay, member of that group. Okay, member of that party, or like can say BJP. Like you take a membership in a BJP, so you take only one membership either in a BJP, Congress, or a Shiv Sena, or maybe NCP, or any other parties like Aam Aadmi Party, like that. You take any one party membership. Like once you take a party membership, if you are in a party, you are a member of that party, right? You are a member of that group, you are a member of that political party. Okay, for example, now you are in BJP, later you change it to Congress, later you change it to some other, like you can change it, but you can't make two membership. Like you are belongs to Shiv Sena as well as a Congress, you can't be there, right? You are in a Congress as well as a BJP, you can't be there, right? So as well as you, either you are belongs to one party or not. That is logical boundary, logically. But every person is a person, so there is no difference between a person in a one party to another party. Okay, right? Every person is a person, so very simple, there are member of different parties. Next, I am not in any party, I am a work group. Okay, for example, I am not in any membership, I am in a work group only. If I am in some party, then that party related properties will come up. For example, you are in this domain, so this domain related things, resources, access, you will come up. For example, if you are in a usually the local parties in my place like Andhra Pradesh, like you are a member of that party, maybe you will get some money, maybe you'll get some primary roles like voluntary business or a service related things. Through party you can able to do something service related things. Or maybe if you are in a different party, then you may get a different kind of resource allocations are there. Maybe for example, all rich people comes together like a Donald Trump kind of stuff. Okay, if you are a member of that party, you will get a flight ticket. Okay, maybe like maybe the party rules are there, different party. Okay, so my part is, if you are a member of a domain, okay, so you will get a domain rules and regulations, you are controlled by the domain only. Okay, so all the rules by the domain only, that in the domain, so it's a logical administrative boundary. This is it. Here it is, I given some explanations, statements I written, work group and domain. It is a decentralized administration. This is important question, guys. That's why I told this much time. Work group and domain. So what is a work group? Work group is a decentralized administration, no centralized control. Each PC has a own administrator, cannot controlled by other PC admins, authorized to access local PC only and local resources only. Is a domain is a centralized administration is there, means central PC will control everything. Centralized control is there. Domain administrator admin for everyone, means everyone in the domain is a domain administrator, is the admin for everyone in the domain. Centralized control by domain admin authorizes to access any resources in a authorized to access any resources in a domain. In my domain, I have a printer, scanner, and all there. So these users can able to access any resources in the domain. Okay, but if in case if you are a member of like a, for example, this is having a user, for example, give me some name like a user, like a student one. Okay, so it can access work group. Okay, like this PC, administrating this PC. Okay, administrating this PC. If I connected a printer to it, only this PC can administrate this printer. Okay, access the printer like that. So like this, it's that's a difference. I've written those statements, so then don't worry. Okay, authorized to access any resources in the domain. Okay, authorized to access local PC resources only. Okay, that is a one. So what is a domain? A logical administrative boundary of users and computers. Guys, when we tell about work group and domain, that time you should use the words like decentralized administration and centralized administration. When it comes to only domain, you have to tell so a logical administrative boundary for users and computers and groups and resources and services. What is a domain controller? Domain controller is nothing but a server. Domain controller is a physical machine. This is a domain controller. This is a domain controller. It is a physical machine. It is a physical machine. Domain is a logical administrative boundary. Domain controller is a server, means it's a physical machine which stores database of user, groups, and computers, resources, and services. Okay, so this is a domain controller which stores where the actually data is stores. That is called a domain controller at currently. Next. No, no, no. Okay, so contains a copy of Active Directory database. What is Active Directory database? The database contains users, groups, and computers kind of stuff. Of course, there is a different naming is also there, like okay, forest tree kind of stuff is also there. So we'll discuss that one once again. Okay, we have to go to this. What is forest tree and domain? Okay, so we'll see that one. So this is about your work group and domain. That's it. Any other doubts, guys? Any doubts regarding work group and domain?
No, sir.
Okay.